Hello everyone, my name is Liam Dutton, Manager of International Recruitment for Acadia University. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here today with Glinks International, a long-standing partner of Acadia University, and I'm very happy to be meeting all of the prospective students that we have for this year, as well as the students that have already applied and are hoping to join us on campus this fall. We're very lucky that the COVID situation in Nova Scotia has been absolutely exceptional, and that's allowed me to be here today meeting with these students in person and hopefully welcoming them to campus come September. That's a very good question. I don't think there's any one singular answer for what makes a university stand out. All of the universities in Canada are absolutely exceptional. We're very blessed to be in a country that has such a high quality of education. But something that makes Acadia unique in terms of the Canadian landscape would very much be our size. Acadia is a primarily undergraduate university that only has 3,500 students, so our whole focus is on that initial degree, the bachelor's degree for undergraduate education. That gives us very small class sizes, an exceptional student-faculty ratio, and also the ability to really work with our students one-on-one. So any of your students that are coming through Glinks and coming to our campus, they're going to be supported as they are here in the office, exactly the same way as they would be on our campus. So it's something that we're definitely known for is our opportunities to work with our students, and then those students in turn get involved in things like hands-on research. They get to take advantage of the supports from their professors. They're not just a number, they're a name in everything that they do. I guess talking about what's unique about our location would be that we're in Wolfville, Nova Scotia. A lot of people are very familiar with places like Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver. MTV is what we always refer to. Those are the biggest cities that you'll find in Canada. But where we are, we're very much outside of that city lifestyle, where we're in a smaller town, a university town that focuses on personal relationships, that family focus, that community feel. So we're a much smaller area. Something that's very unique about it is the full-time residency of Wolfville is about 5,000, and then the full-time population of Acadia is about 3,500. So during the school year, we double the town's population. So for all of those students that are school-aged, every single person their age probably goes to Acadia. So when they're in the surrounding region, when they're walking to class, even when they're in the downtown area at a restaurant or a coffee shop, they have that personal relationship with someone that's probably an Acadia student. We're also located right on the shores of the Bay of Fundy. The Bay of Fundy is one of the 7 natural wonders of North America. We have the highest tidal range on the planet. So what that means is every single day, the water raises and drops about 48 feet or about 17 meters, and that creates a microclimate. So a lot of people aren't actually aware that Nova Scotia is one of the warmest provinces in Canada. On average, our temperature in the winter is only around minus 2.5 degrees. We have some of the most days of sunshine out of any province in Canada, and our students were blessed with 4 very distinct seasons. So for students that are coming from the Middle East, from other areas in this region, they always wonder, okay, it's Canada, it's cold. I hate the cold personally, and I do very well where I live in Wolfville. So you get 4 distinct seasons. That gives you that true Canadian experience, but you're not freezing. You're not wading through all of these feet of snow. It's a great place to live, and it's welcoming, it's safe, it's friendly, and it's diverse as well. Acadia is blessed to have over 65 nationalities represented on campus. Because of how we fit in our town, that cultural diversity blends into the town too. So you'll see your own backgrounds, your foods, your religions, your traditions reflected in the town itself. So it's a wonderful place, and it's very affordable as well, which is a nice key point. Yeah, definitely. I think what goes into that is coming back to our uniqueness of size. Being a small university, having 3,500 undergraduate students, we're able to look after every single one of those students. I know by name pretty much every single one of my international students that are coming to Acadia this year because we work with them personally. when you get larger as a university, it becomes a numbers game where it is very difficult to track who's who, what their individual needs are, what programs they're taking, what supports they need. For us, with an average class size of 28, your professor knows who you are as a person. Our counseling center knows what supports you need to be successful. Even our dining hall. The chef at our dining hall knows what your food needs are. Right? So there's more that goes into supporting a student than just academically. It's financially, it's mentally, physically, and all of those things. So we have that whole package as an institution that allows our students to be successful, right from our very first meeting here at a Glinks office or one of our student fairs, all the way to me picking them up at the airport, being on campus, and introducing them to the International Center or their very first professor. So I think being successful is a package, and we have all of that we need to allow them to continue to succeed on and off campus and in everything that they do afterwards. Okay. So I think for a lot of international students, when they're looking at programs, and especially parents, there's a concern that the degree that they're getting needs to equal a very good job. Right? It's about being successful financially, being successful in the career field. But that success doesn't just come from going into business or computer science or engineering. Right? Those are very popular programs, and obviously we have a lot of students entering those programs. But there are other ways to get into successful industries. For example, a lot of people aren't aware that you can get into medical school with an arts degree. Right? You could take history or music and still get into a medical school or a dental school. There are different pathways in Canada that allow you to go into different areas. It might not be as laid out, engineering equals engineer, finance equals banking. With an arts degree, it's not always as easy as that. But for some of our programs where we see success and students having a lot of rewards coming from the programs, kinesiology is a very, very popular program. So kinesiology is the study of the human body. It is very popular in North America because they do sports science and things like that students might not necessarily do in school here. But a lot of those kinesiology students go into physiotherapy, medicine, athletic therapy, speech-language pathology. They're working in hospitals. Other areas perhaps in the arts. I did English and history when I was at Acadia, and now I think I'm fairly successfully employed, and I'm able to travel the world and spreading the message that you can get a job with an arts degree. It's about soft skills. During your programs, even though you might take sociology or history, you're learning critical thinking, public speaking, reading and writing, the ability to go through large amounts of text and filter out important information. You're able to utilize the skills that you've learned in the classroom, personal relationships, and apply that into different areas. So a lot of what I do now is, you could even say it's business. I do a lot of international relations and global business, but I have an English degree. So it's about applying those skill sets that you learn from your classes into different areas. So I strongly suggest students to really think about what they enjoy, not necessarily about what the end result is, but you'll get there eventually. And we're very fortunate at Acadia that we offer co-op in the arts. It's a very rare thing for an institution to offer co-op in the arts, and that's how we'll help them find those jobs. So even if they take a lesser-known arts degree or a lesser-known science degree, we can still find them a successful path to be on. Sure. So Canada is very similar to an area like Dubai, where it's a multicultural melting pot in a sense. You have a lot of multinational companies coming here. You have a lot of businesses kind of starting out of nothing. So in Canada, we call those startup organizations. So small businesses that will start with maybe 3 or 4 staff that will grow into something much larger. It's very similar in Canada and in Nova Scotia. But some of the fastest growing industries that we're seeing specifically in Nova Scotia would be in the tech sector. So because of our cost of living being low, and we have a very strong workforce of skilled students coming out of our university system, we have a lot of students going into places like IBM, BlackBerry, Research in Motion, Google. They have the opportunities to get entry-level positions with those organizations. We have all of the major banks that you would want to work in the finance sector. All of those are obviously in Nova Scotia. The big five for the accounting firms. So if you're interested in accountancy or anything like that, very easy to find a position or at least apply for available positions. But Canada, overall, I think we're growing as a nation. So we have very aggressive population growth goals. I think the government wants to grow to about 50 million over the next number of years. So with that, you have a lot of infrastructure as well. Our cities are getting bigger. We're spreading out a lot more. So engineering, obviously there will always be engineering positions. Healthcare. Canada has a shortage of healthcare professionals. So if you're looking at things like nursing or medicine or occupational therapy, physiotherapy, those are great professions to get into as well. As our population is aging, obviously you'll need to take care of that older population. But pretty much everything that you'll see in larger cities or areas, we'll have that in Canada, and it's all multinational. So you can come to Canada, get your degree, get a few years work experience in those areas, and then you have the ability to transfer to a different branch or go to your country of your dreams or whatever it might be. But I think our motto in Nova Scotia, at least, is study and stay. We want you to have the ability to utilize what you've learned in school, get a position in that field, and we want you to stay in Nova Scotia and stay in Canada as a whole. So yeah, lots of great opportunities. Scholarships at Acadia, guaranteed for international students. We give $4.3 million every year. I believe last year 90% of our incoming students received a scholarship. Big thing for Acadia, we have the top-ranked co-op program for a school our size. So most of our students will go into co-op rather than experiential learning because it is much more structured and paid. Acadia is a liberal arts style of university, so that means that students have the opportunity to blend degrees, double majors, double minors. You could do biology and French, music and history, business and sociology. There's no limit for us. Being a small, primarily undergraduate university, all of our professors still have to do research, but we're very lucky that our undergraduate students are the ones that get to do it. At larger institutions, the master's students and the PhD students take all of those opportunities, but for us, our students get to take advantage of all of that. Fall 2022, yeah. So we're just wrapping up Fall 21 now, still open for January 22. But as we look at that traditional start date in Canada, which is typically fall, and I always recommend students to start in the fall, regardless of what school you're going to, because that's when the program's meant to start. You're there with your cohort and things like that. As we start looking at Fall 22, Acadia's applications open up October 1st of this year. So students are able to be considered for early admission based on their grade 11 results, or we can start talking about the things that they need as we head into their predicted results or whatever that might be. So we're very lucky that we have a lot of different fairs that we conduct together. So throughout the year, you can come visit me at all of the Glinks fairs at all of the locations that we have them, and we can start talking about the documents that you need for those. But I would start thinking about it now. Now is always the best time to think about it because you can start preparing early, make sure you're in the right courses, and especially for students that are potentially even getting into 11th, you need to have the right courses in 12th in order to be admitted to those programs. More often than not, we see students that haven't chosen the right courses. Maybe they don't have chemistry or math, and unfortunately that limits their abilities. So come, have a chat with us, talk about your future. We'll put you in the right direction, and by the time it comes for your admission, you'll be ready to go. Consistency is the big one. Glinks has been our longest standing partner in this region, and we're very thankful for it. And obviously, I have a great relationship with the staff here, but for us as an institution, all of our students that have come through Glinks have been very successful in getting their study permits, which is something that we value more than anything, because it doesn't matter if I admit you to Acadia, if you're not able to enter the country, then it doesn't really matter. So expert counselors that really do their research on the institutions, the students are pre-counseled very, very well. Every single student that I talk to here has an idea of what Acadia is. Does it fit in their budget? Is it the right program? Is it the right fit? So I don't have to spend as much time going through all of those steps with those students. It's already been done. And then I know that the students have all of the support that they need when I leave. That consistency carries all the way through. And then obviously that ongoing relationship and partnership that we have, where the student's file is always being discussed between our admissions office and the counselors here. So the students don't need to worry about anything really. Once their file is in your hands and in our hands, everything's usually as good as it gets. So I couldn't be more thankful for the relationship, and it'll be one that continues to go for years to come. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kieran, and the rest of the Glinks staff. And I look forward to our continued work together, and hopefully we'll have some in-person fairs in the fall, and we'll just continue to manage this situation. So thank you all, and be safe and be well.